Yet another Chinese EV manufacturer is looking at expanding into Europe and Australia. A top Chinese car brand called GAC is about to release its first EV in Australia. Now, GAC stands for Guangzhou Automobile Group Company, and it's one of the top 5 automotive manufacturers, and it made 2.5 million vehicles in 2023 in China. So it's not to be sniffed at. Now, they formed a subsidiary called GAC Aion New Energy Automobile Company Limited. Yeah, fortunately, it's trading as GAC Aion. Now, GAC Aion have introduced their Aion V at the Melbourne Mobility Expo earlier on this week. And GAC Aion have actually been in Thailand since last September. And they launched the Aion Y there in a right-hand drive variety. And they've just started assembling EV cars there in July this year. So they're making right-hand drive vehicles, same as us here in Australia. Now, they're also selling cars in Hong Kong, Vietnam, and they've started previewing their products in Malaysia and Indonesia. And it was Australia's turn this week, so I'm expecting them to appear here in 2025. Now, they've got a short video on their global website, which I'll play now without the sound for copyright reasons, maybe. Now, when I was in Bangkok a few months ago, I actually saw, I think it was an Aion Y, and I sat in one of their cars. And do you know what? It's not too bad, really. It wasn't the Aion V, I don't think, but anyway. The Aion V actually made its first appearance in 2020 in China, and they're now on their second generation of the vehicle, and that was announced in July this year. And it's got a starting price of $28,000 Australian equivalent in China, but don't expect it to be sold here for that price. I know someone's going to comment in the comments below, oh, you know, it's going to be too expensive. When it gets here, look, I expect it's going to be in that 40 to 50,000 bracket again. So look, it's on par with all the others. Now, while I'm here, could I just please ask you to like and subscribe, you know, those things below, and also in the description section a link to my Tesla referral. And you're too late. In Australia, they've just halved the referral. So instead of getting $700 off, you're only going to get $350 off. Should have done it earlier. So they've actually started to try to sell in Europe, but with all the new tariffs, VAT, GST, import tariffs, etc., it's going to be costing upwards of 30,000 euros and up, which is well over 50,000 AU. So that's why I'm expecting it to come in that 40 to 50,000 bracket here in Australia. There's some confusion as to its specifications. Only 2 variants, I think, were shown here, but there are actually 3 in China. Over there, battery sizes are 62, 75 and 90 kilowatt hours, give or take a few decimal points. And that, with the 90 kilowatt hour battery, gives them a claimed range of 750 kilometres at a claimed consumption rate of 12.8 kilowatt hours per 100k. Now, I think that's on the CLTC cycle, so 750 is probably between 550 and 600 kilometres. That's not bad. Now, some test drives of this that I've seen on Chinese sites, they've averaged 15 kilowatt hours per 100k. So that, with the 90 kilowatt hour battery, gives them a claimed range of about 600 kilometres for that larger battery, which is pretty damn good. Now, there's no comment I can find on charging rates, except that it can add up to 370 kilometres range in 15 minutes. We'll see. Now, it's supposed to be able to do the 0 to 100 kilometre an hour or 62 miles an hour sprint in a reasonable 7.9 seconds. Now, that comes from the larger of two drive options. There's 150 kilowatt and 165 kilowatt. So that will be the larger motor. Expect a slower speed from the smaller motor. Now, it's a medium-ish SUV. It's got a length of 4605 millimetres, a width of 1854 millimetres, and a height of 1686 millimetres, which means it's just a bit longer than the Atto 3 and a bit shorter than the Model Y. And it's going to run on a wheelbase of 2775 millimetres. Now, there's no frunk. But it does have one pedal driving when you're in energy saver mode, which is one of three modes. But you won't get one pedal driving in any other of the modes. Now, the top of the range, I believe, is going to come with a massage function for the front seats. I like that. It should also have over-the-air updates. And I consider that now is pretty much essential for modern EVs. Now, it's reported that it's got GAC's Aion, I think that's how you pronounce it, Pilot Intelligent Driving System. So there's the ubiquitous horizontal central infotainment screen, along with a smaller instrument cluster behind the steering wheel. But, you know, full specifications and pricing will be announced closer to its launch sometime in 2025. Look, I think it's great that we're getting more and more vehicles. Yeah, I know they're all Chinese, but you know what? The Chinese manufacturers really are making good vehicles, and they're making them at a price that's reasonable. Look, it would be nice if we could get some sub 30,000 Australian cars here. But in Australia, we like the bigger SUVs. I know I do. I mean, I can't get into a standard saloon now, which is why I got rid of the Model 3. So all up, look, I think it's going to do reasonably well. There's a bit of a battle in that area with those medium SUVs. Model Y is winning it, obviously, but I think some of the others may struggle to sell a lot, but we shall see. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, click that like and subscribe button, please. Thank you very much. It really does help make a difference, and that costs you nothing. Now, also in the description section below, there's a link to my Ko-fi page if you want to help me out in other ways. Thank you very much for those that already do. And also in the description section, there's a link to my Tesla referral, which is now only a $350 discount. Sorry, I don't keep changing it. That's Tesla. And I'll see you all very soon.